How's it going, guys? And welcome back to the CFCTALK podcast. A great game against Sevilla, 4-0, and none other than Olivier Giroud with a hat-trick and then a penalty at the end to seal it. Sadly, he couldn't get a fifth one, but I guess he'll be happy with 4 on the night. 5 goals in 3 games, but we're going to talk about him in detail tonight. And not only that, but we're joined with the host of the THEGRANDDAM podcast, Dami himself, the king of Twitter videos and impersonations. How are you doing tonight, Dam?
Man, call me the king, you know. Listen, when it comes to kingship, I'm not in charge. You know, you've got bigger fish in the sea. But nice big up for the introduction, my friend. Yeah, I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Obviously, as a Chelsea fan right now, everybody's gassed up, elated, gassing off, wanking off everything. But yeah, we good. It's good to be in the building.
It's great to have you on. Before we get into Chelsea, and this is a lot of people like me. I watch your videos on Twitter, and if you haven't watched it, you're missing out. You're I think the most famous one is the Nigerian secretary of Roman Abramovich.
Yes.
I'm on the verge of dying listening to those ones. Great videos.
Oh my days.
But yeah, great to have you on. So let's get right into it. And first of all, Dami, how good were we on the night against Sevilla?
You know, the thing that impressed me the most out of that entire performance wasn't the fact that we necessarily played as well as a team. It's just the fact that we're actually able to go to Sevilla all the way to Spain, because one thing that a lot of people did say on the timeline was, it was a Giroud stat pad, Giroud masterclass, red all of that. But we need to remember that Frank Lampard made 9 changes to that squad, okay? He made 9 changes to the squad. He stuck to the tactics and the formation that he wanted to use. And yeah, it was a team that we thought was going to be defensively suspect. This is a Sevilla team that had just come off 5 games in a row. Like, they had won their last 5 games in a row. They were on some sort of streak. And we went there and absolutely battered them in their own yards. Now, I'm absolutely elated by that performance. And the fact that we've now allowed, basically loosen up a game, because if we drew that match, we'd have had to go into Krasnodar, is it Russia, whatever it was, we'd have had to put out a good team that could beat them properly. Do you know what I'm saying? But nah, man, I'm elated from that performance. It was phenomenal. It was phenomenal, especially from Giroud. 100% from Giroud, that performance. But yeah, I'm gassed.
I think one thing that we need to really address is the back four. No one expected Christensen and Rudiger to start together. And I think it was on the last podcast, Alex, Amart, us three, we discussed how Christensen probably won't be seen in a Chelsea shirt. How surprised were you seeing him start, Alex?
Pretty. I mean, to be fair, I was expecting Silva to start. I didn't think Frank would. I was confident in the lineup. I wasn't one of the people who was so unhappy with it. I saw the front 6 essentially was a dream for me. I was so excited to see the front 6 play. But yeah, I was quite surprised considering the game was. I mean, if we lost this game, then I think first was, if Sevilla won the game, they would have finished. It's guaranteed that Sevilla would have finished first. So I'm very surprised that Frank went with his essentially weakest back 4 that he could have picked. I guess unless you include Alonso at left back, maybe. But I'm not sure if we'll be seeing Alonso much anyway. But yeah, was very surprised. I did think that he would have picked Silva. I did think that Zuma would have been rested, but still happy that I thought both of them played. I mean, there were a couple of mistakes in the second half, but we'll probably get into the second half there. But yeah, still, I was pretty happy with both of their performances, Rudiger and Christensen.
I think the fact that you mentioned Emerson, and we can get right into it straight away, and Alonso, I think we as Chelsea fans always expected Alonso to be the backup option of Ben Chilwell, and that's if Azpilicueta was injured or wasn't going to start. But Emerson's performance against Sevilla, Mart, was so influential. And does that make him the backup option? And does that mean Alonso needs to find his way out of Chelsea now?
The thing is, Emerson has always been the backup option ever since Alonso had that issue with Frank. He has always been, whether he performs better or not, he has always been the backup option. And yeah, he did very, very well. He really surprised me. I know I watched a little bit of Alonso's performances for Italy, and he did very, very well. So I know he definitely has a good performance in him, but sometimes he has these kind of lapses in concentration that makes him kind of like make mistakes here and there. But he was very, very good against Sevilla. I was one of those people who were a bit skeptic about the defensive pair between Rudiger and Christensen. I saw that lineup. I was a bit worried. I wasn't too worried because I knew like this team is a chain team. Even though the two of them are there, it's a really chain team, and Mendy is in full control of that back line. But I mean, they really surprised me. Christensen and Rudiger, they had no mistakes throughout. They didn't put a foot wrong throughout the whole game, and Emerson was just bombing on the left flank up and down. I think his crosses need a little bit of work. His corners also need a little bit of work, but he did really well. He was probably, after Giroud, was probably our second best player on the pitch.
Yeah, that gives me a perfect transition into Giroud, and I'm gonna leave this part open and for discussion for all four of us to have. But yeah, starting with Dami. I don't know why I think it's the name on Zencaster. It says Dam. I just keep calling him Dam. But Dami, Olivier Giroud. A lot of people wrote him off. A lot of people said he'll find a way out of Chelsea in the summer. It didn't happen, and then we said January is probably his time. How important is it for Chelsea to keep him at the club? And performances like these, as we mentioned, 5 goals in 3 games. Do we still want to keep Giroud, and is he going to be our second choice striker, or does Tammy Abraham take precedence in that area?
Do we want to keep Giroud? Listen,
Oh,
if this man wants
£1
million, yeah, if he wants £1 million a week, you give it to him, yeah. If he wants the Shard in London, you give it to him. Whatever he wants, you give it to the man. Listen, I don't think a lot of people, I'm not even talking about YouTube, but like you guys in particular, but generally, this man is a model professional. Do you know where I'm coming from? How many players do you know that could go on, sit on the bench for 5-6 consecutive games, then the next game they come on to, they absolutely ball and dismantle everybody around them? Like, look at what Giroud did yesterday. This man was on the bench. Everybody was complaining about him. He said he wants to leave, but he's still out here performing. 4 goals in the Champions League against Sevilla. Do you know the last time these man lost to an English team? Talk less of in their stadium. Talk less by that much? Nah. Look, listen. I know a lot of people love Tammy Abraham. I love Tammy myself. Do you know what I'm saying? I mean, I feel like he's been quite disrespected recently. And some people don't really rate Werner like that. Obviously, I've been backing him as well. But at the end of the day, the sort of player we have in Olivier Giroud, I don't think he's the sort of person that we should be allowing to move on. If Lampard genuinely goes, yeah, I don't mind him leaving, then I probably will have to go down to Cobham myself. Do you know what I'm saying? And speak a few words to the man. Do you know what I mean? I have to have a pint of Stella or something and chat about it, because it wouldn't literally make any sense. But nah, man, if he's, I really hope he doesn't move on during the January break, because it would be a real blow to him. Because one thing I've noticed about Giroud is that when Chelsea start underperforming, he's very consistent. You know what I'm saying? I know he went on that massive goal drought at Arsenal, but for example, look at Giroud last season. If we did not have Giroud last season, we are not qualifying for the Champions League. It's as simple as that. Anyone can go fact check that. Giroud yesterday, basically, I don't know when this is coming up, but when he played against Sevilla, he single-handedly prevented, I mean, obviously the rest of the team played quite well, Kepa, backline, blah, 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 but because of what Giroud and his theatrics yesterday, we don't have to field the strong squad against Krasnodar. That's basically saved us some manpower for the hectic December period. We're going to play 9 games in December. That's mad. That's like 3 games every day. Three days in between every game. But you get the gist in it. Nah, I don't think we should be allowing him to move on that easily. I love him. I love him way too much. Fantastic professional. Best target man on the planet. I've said it consistently, even before this performance. But nah, man, he shouldn't go anywhere, in my opinion. I feel like he might end up leaving just so that, I mean, Deschamps should start him regardless, but I feel like he might just want to leave to go to another club to get some game time ahead of is it the Euros or whatever it is next year. But yeah, man, that's how I see things.
I mean, Dami, first of all, I want to pardon Mohammed. I want to pardon Mohammed a bit, because I think he didn't watch your video right after the game of you saying that you need to. Giroud needs a blood check.
No, I've been following him, but I'll be honest, I haven't really caught up to all the facts and everything for Sevilla, because I've been very busy with stuff. But
everyone is busy in it. I respect that. I respect the grind. You know what I'm saying?
Made sure to watch his video. I think it's quite a good video. Olivier Giroud and saving Chelsea, if I remember the tweet.
Yeah, because he said that Giroud needs a blank check. He needs to be given a blank check. Whatever he needs to sign it. So yeah.
Spot on,
So
fam. Spot on.
I totally agree with what Dam said. Giroud is definitely. I put three things to say about Giroud, and I think the first one falls in line with what Dami said. Giroud is a class player. Like, no matter what, like he has gone through at Chelsea, the guy still performs for us. I've not really seen him complain. I've not really seen him. I think that the only time we saw that he wanted to leave, it wasn't even verbal. It was from his agents. His agents and people around him were kind of like making excuses. There was even a picture of him already in Italy, going to sign for Inter Milan, which were all lies. But the man is a true professional. Like, he knows like what he's capable of. He knows what Chelsea can do for him. He knows what he can also do for Chelsea. So I mean, seeing him coming on to perform the way he performed, like starting a game, he hasn't started that many games this season, and starting a game and performing that well, scoring 4 goals against Sevilla, like Dam said, they've been unbeaten at that stadium in 14 games, 14 games across all competition, and we just go there and batter them. It's crazy. Like we gave them 4 goals at home, and we still came out with the clean sheet. That's the craziest thing of all. We still came out with the clean sheet, and yeah, I mean, he was very, very good.
And with not even our first team players.
Exactly. Havertz came from Havertz started. Ziyech came from the bench. When I don't know how you guys felt, but when I saw that bench, Mount, Ziyech, and Kante coming on, I was like, nah, we have a team, because these are the players that are coming on as substitutes, and it was just crazy. I mean, like they all did well, but Giroud is a special type of player and he's good. And I think you asked something about whether he's our second choice or third choice. I don't think we necessarily have a first choice striker, second choice, or third choice striker. Right now, it's like the person who is in form will play. And I like how Frank is handling the team, how he's managing the players, and I think it's a good way forward from now on.
Amart really puts up a great point there, and this brings us to a bit of a fact check kind of thing I've got right now. So firstly, one of the facts, and a lot of people were tweeting this, and I even said it as well. I think the last time we won 4 games in a row was in 2012 when we won the Champions League. And the last time Giroud scored a hat-trick was in the Europa League in 2019, was it? Yeah, 2019 when we won it. So every time any of these have happened, we've won a European competition. Plus, this is the first time an English side has won at Sevilla since 2004. So, Alex, how important was this win? And then does this raise Chelsea fans? And I think we were discussing this yesterday as well. How much does it feed on the hopes of Chelsea fans?
No. I know what you're doing, Mohammed. I know what you're doing. I know you're trying to set me up for my comment on I'm not afraid of Bayern Munich. Yeah, you just gotta. I'll take the slander after, but yeah, he's trying to set me up for some comments yesterday. I was saying about how I'm not scared of anyone, even Bayern Munich, with this team. No, but I'm not scared. I'm not scared. Yeah, it's fine. You can come for me then. Nah, it's just like, not saying that we could even challenge them, but I'm not like scared of us getting slapped 69-0. That's what I'm saying. Just kind of, I don't expect us to get slapped like 4-0, 3-1 at home per se if we did play them. But yeah, I do accept. Yeah, it's getting a bit ahead of ourselves when, in terms of the big games. Yes, this was a big game, and when we did win 4-0 away from home against a decent team, but Sevilla did rotate as well, and I think this game especially showed how depth-wise how much better we were than them. Sevilla had to play their third choice keeper, who had never. I think it was his first game. I think his professional debut.
Yeah.
I think for Sevilla. So it is important to not get ahead of themselves. So I do do kind of regret the the Bayern Munich comment. Just saying, I don't think we'd get slapped too hard at playing them. But we're not challenging.
And going back to the the comment Amart made about the bench and how he asked us what we thought of the bench, and we also discussed this yesterday. And when I look at that bench, and I don't know if I should include Kepa in that, but we valued our bench to be more expensive than the team that was on at start. And we valued them about at 200 million, was it, Alex?
250, or the bench was like
Two.
270. But to be fair, Kepa does bring it up quite a lot. So
Yeah.
but yeah, Kepa's. We can't say he's Mohammed's favorite player, so we can't pretend he's not at the club just yet. But yeah,
Dami, let's touch this topic. Dami, do we see a Kepa comeback? FA Cup?
he's not even going to answer. He doesn't need answering.
Either he's decided not to answer, or B, it's cut off again.
But yeah, we got to put the. I mean, yes, I don't like getting too carried away myself. Yeah, it is a good result, and it is a great result, 4-0 away from home. But I think this game also does say a lot about how our depth is just so much better than Sevilla. Hell, they had to play the third choice keeper who made his professional debut for Sevilla against us in the Champions League, and they had made loads of changes as well. But it did look like two teams of a completely different level. So I do need to tell myself to not get too carried away with the whole going on and winning the Champions League sort of thing. But yeah, it's going to be. We got. I mean, until Arsenal and City, I think at the end of 2020, we go on another run of not many big games, I think. So yeah,
Arsenal is no longer a big game.
yeah, true. Yeah, I appreciate the correction there. It's Man City. Man City is the next week. Arsenal, yeah, still the mid. We can't call them even the mid-table anymore. They're 14th now. So yeah, we got a run of kind of games against middle and lower tier opposition in the league, or lower league position. So we're going to go back to that. But yeah, we got to not. I think, and Frank knows for sure. You can tell that Frank won't be getting ahead of himself. So it's really exciting times, though.
Yeah, 100%. And then with the question of how far we're going to go ahead with the Champions League, and we were talking about the bench and the importance of rotation, and we saw that when Twitter was quite reactionary before the match, and I tend to usually be on Twitter before the match, but yesterday I wasn't. I went off because every comment you see was why this team, why this, why that, and it almost felt like we went back to that stage of start of the season where everyone was saying, what is Frank Lampard doing, until we found that formation and all that run that we've been on so far. But Dami, how important is it for fans to trust Lampard and trust the process? And we knew last season was a transition season, and we knew nothing was going to come at the bridge, no trophies. And this season's fans expect at least a domestic win. And with the run of form in the Premier League and the Champions League at this point, I think a lot of fans have spoken this into existence, that we're going to win the Premier League. So how important is it for us to stay calm and then just trust Frank Lampard?
The thing, with the whole trust Lampard thing is like, obviously I back my man to the moon and back. You know what I'm saying? I've got 5-6 jerseys. I'm looking at them right now in my drawer. I've got all of them. They've got Lampard at the back of them. But I keep telling people, when you come in with constructive criticism for anything, then you're always going to be flight. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people are like Lampard out, retete, blah blah blah, and now they look like absolute cretins. You know what I'm saying? Absolute top tier cretins. But at the end of the day, I've just got to look at it and be like, yo, look at what this man has done in this short period of time. He's showing that he's trying to improve. I was asking that question at the start of the season. I was like, yo, Lampard, what are we saying? Like, I know we've spent all this money, what are we doing? But you can see he's come out, he's trying to show what his tactics are about, like having two advanced progressive fullbacks. That's why you don't see the likes of Aspilicueta playing as much. I don't see the likes of Alonso playing as much, because you can see them trying to cover up the spaces for the wingers, and then you've got the wingers playing more like inverted wingers within the half space, and then you've got Mason Mount coming back to do all sorts of defensive stuff and offensive stuff, and you can sort of see what he's trying to do. Now, when you're seeing stuff like that, when you're seeing progression, when you're seeing our defense, for example, look at how well we defended with 9 changes to the squad. That was really, really impressive. And that's something that a lot of people will not mention to you. And it also shows you how high Kepa tax is. Kepa tax was absolutely ridiculous and bombastic. Do you know what I'm saying? It was something else. Like, literally, Kepa would come onto the pitch and we'd concede one every 2 goals. He made our defense look much worse than it actually is. Do you know what I'm saying? Rudiger always has a mistake in him.
Now we appreciate that we've got Christensen. Sorry for the interruption, but now we appreciate the fact that Christensen and Rudiger are trusted now because of the fact that we've got Mendy involved.
Exactly. I mean, there's a bit more trust being put into those two. Like, honestly, I've said, I've been talking about Rudiger even before I had 10 followers on Twitter. Do you know what I'm saying? He's always been one to boil my blood because he's always had that mistake in him, and I don't think he can ever change because, I mean, he's what, 27, 28 now? But at the end of the day, like you said, man, when it comes to backing this process, I am seeing a process now. Do you know what I'm saying? Last season, you could argue that he was trying and experimenting, and everything in hindsight now sort of makes sense. But now, man, I think it's quite important to like trust the process as things go on. I have been very skeptical because I'm trying to see what happens when we lose, because this team has been on its run of form for quite a bit of time now. But what happens when we go up against the big boys? What happens in this December period? Like I said, we've got 9 games this month. I need to see that this period, this December/January period is what's going to determine how well this squad finishes this season. So it depends on how we really counterbalance this period. But now, like, as things are unfolding, as they have always unfolded, and for Frank Lampard as an individual, like when he was a player and Harry Redknapp backing him massively, I'm going to trust the process. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm going to ask a lot of questions along the way, but as far as things are concerned right now, he's proven me wrong in a few aspects, like certain signings, like, for example, Ben Chilwell. I was definitely not the biggest fan of that, but proving me wrong in that respect. He's fixed up a bit on defense. He's chosen the formation solidly. I mean, we haven't lost anytime soon, but yeah, I'm Mr. Back the process for now. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think you mentioned a point on how we're going to perform against Big Six, and a lot of the fans were unhappy with how we've played against the top teams. And so far, if I can remember, we've played 3. That would be Liverpool, Man United, and Spurs. And we've gotten 2 points out of 9. Which is not the best of points to like the maximum points you can get. But Amart, even if and a lot of people have said that even if you draw against the Big Six and win the games that you're meant to win, you can win the Premier League. Does that apply to Chelsea this year as well?
Yeah, it definitely does, but I don't think we'll continue drawing with the Big Six. But I think the issue we've had with the Big Six, especially with United and Spurs, was that they were cautious. They didn't want to concede a goal. They didn't want to make any mistakes. They didn't want to risk attacking so that their defense will be open up. But I don't think we'll get the same thing when we're playing against Liverpool or we're playing against City. Those teams, they don't they defend, but they are not a defensive side, and they will definitely attack because they have the firepower. Unlike Spurs and United, they still have the firepower, but they have managers who rather prefer that they draw than to lose. But with with City and Liverpool, I don't think that's the case. I don't think that will be the case at all. Those people are going to come out full on blasting us with Mahrez, De Bruyne, Salah, Mane. They're all going to attack. So I don't see us getting a goalless draw again against Liverpool or City. I mean, it's possible to play draws with all of them and still win the league. It's very, very possible to do that, but I don't think we'll do that. I don't think it's something that will continue to happen. I think that's the reason why some of the rival fans still don't see us as a threat in this season. But I think for me, I prefer it like that. I prefer when Chelsea is always the underdog. We've always been the underdog, even when Mourinho won back-to-back Premier Leagues. We're still seen as underdogs. We're still seen as a team that is doing well just because we have a new owner. And United I remember those days, United were the ones that were the favourites. Even when we were on top of them, they were always the favourites. So I enjoy us being underdogs. I don't want anybody to see us as threats. We'll just be under the radar and win stuff. So, but yeah, like back to your question, I don't think we'll play a draw or something, a goalless draw, especially with the likes of Liverpool or United or City.
Yeah. Let's track back a little bit. I think we skipped over a few details from the midweek game. We saw Christian Pulisic back into the team. I think that was 4 weeks after. No, I think it was a little bit longer, 6 weeks since he played his last match and the injury that he got in the warm up. Alex, how exciting was he to watch? And a lot of the fans are comparing him with Eden Hazard. And should we have those kind of expectations?
Well, firstly on Pulisic,
I'm putting you on the spot again.
Yeah, geez, he really is. He's just trying to get some decent TikToks out of me, and I know it. So I'm not
First
giving you
Bayern
anything.
Munich. First Bayern Munich and then Eden Hazard.
Yeah, he's just, Mohammed's always on the lookout. Whenever we say anything controversial, he's like, yes, there's one for my TikToks. So yeah, I'll say in the midweek performance, especially first half Pulisic, he was very direct, and it was good to see the runs that we all saw, especially towards the end of last season. But there were a couple of times I think all Chelsea fans were screaming at the television to pass it to Hudson-Odoi there when he was open. I think it happened twice or three times in the first half where Pulisic had gone past players, and there was the space in front of Cho on the right side, and he just didn't play it. So that was a bit frustrating. And I think that's probably what caused Jan to tweet out about he thought Pulisic was so-called trash in the first half. I don't know if you saw the tweet, but
I saw that. That was a bombastical take, fam. I had to pattern him up in DMs. Boss, what are you doing? Delete that immediately. But
yeah, that was like, just because his decision making was a bit off. He's still coming back into it. So, but yeah, Eden Hazard. At the end of the day, I don't think anyone's ever going to be the
think about this one.
No, I am going to think about this one. I don't want any TikToks being made in my name this time. But yeah, no one's going to be the new Eden Hazard. He's just our Christian Pulisic. He is still different to what Hazard is. Hazard's much more of a playmaker, I think, whereas Pulisic, he's better heading than Hazard. I'll say we give him that. But yeah, they are different. So
he's got that eye for goal. You know what I'm saying? He wants to score the goals. He wants to do the create. He wants to dance a bit more. Do you know what I'm saying? Hazard had that thing of gliding past players and getting assists. You know what I'm saying? Like, honestly, man, I was going to say a very adult joke on here, but I just changed my mind. But I think you guys think that's where I was going to go. But now, like I said, obviously different players, like you said, Alex. I don't agree with you on that one. Like, I don't think we should really compare them in the sense that, I mean, you can't compare them on a talismanic sense, because you can't be like, he's going to be Chelsea's talisman moving forward. And I did say it last season. I said, all the players we do have at this establishment, like if you consider all the stuff that's happening, look at Christian Pulisic. She was the only one last season that was like, I don't care if we sign Messi, I don't care if we sign Ronaldo, I don't care who we sign. This man should be playing. It's a pity that his injuries have put him out for a bit of time, but nah, man, Pulisic is his own player, he's his own source. You know what I'm saying? That American source and that. But yeah, we keep him moving.
Yeah, I think I wanted to say this on Twitter as well, but there's a lot of times fans look for players in. Okay, I don't know how to word this, but they look for certain players inside of players. So I think we're still not over the fact that Eden Hazard's gone to Real Madrid, and then every now and then you see a Eden Hazard edit on the timeline, and you see 5 people commenting under it, and 5-10 people commenting under it saying we miss him, we want him back, and we've done that a lot of times on the podcast as well, reminiscing on good times and how we'll open with open arms we'll have him back at the club. But we need to respect the fact that Christian Pulisic is someone else, a young guy who's one of the best signings Chelsea would have probably made. Hopefully, got a bright future. I think, what's his age? 24 is he? I don't want to get this wrong.
Pulisic's 20.
Nah, he's 21 or 20.
He's 21.
Yeah. 21.
Yeah, so
he's been in the game for too long.
Yeah.
22 actually. 22. He just turned 22.
22. Yeah. So we're talking about another 10 years on him, on his feet, and so he's got a bright future as well. Okay, so I think that covers up all the players. Do we want to start rating the team? Any honorable mentions?
To be fair, if only Rudiger hadn't made a couple of mistakes, especially in the second half. I thought his passing, especially, he pulled off some sick long balls, especially in the first half. He was I think that kind of went under the radar. It was his long passing was quality. Yeah, it was.
Nah, Rudiger praise doesn't go well with me, but nah,
Yeah.
But nah, you carry on. I'm just messing about.
I'd say he did like that trademark Rudiger mistake. He still had it, but thought, and I guess maybe it was the game to kind of, he had the time to put off these passes, he made a mistake. But I haven't seen Rudiger put in at least an okay-ish performance in a while, so anything from him will be good. But yeah, it's.
Yeah, I mean, talking about Rudiger also brings up the question of him leaving in January, not having enough playtime. Amart, do we see that happening?
Rudiger leaving, probably might leave because we have way too many defenders in the team, but he might leave. Probably Tomori as well. I've been hearing stuff about Tomori, but Tomori is very determined to fight for his role, even though he doesn't get a place in the team most of the times. But I think out of them, for me, I don't know. A lot of people don't like Christensen. I know a lot of people don't like Christensen, but out of between him and Rudiger, I always choose Christensen. But I feel like Christensen is a better defender all around. But if somebody might leave, it might either be Rudiger or Tomori.
Yeah,
I mean,
would you guys rather see Tomori leave on loan or Rudiger? Well, actually, no, that's a silly question.
I was literally.
Dami was ready. Dami was ready.
He was ready. I was about to. Yeah, I think we all want to see.
Rudiger.
We want to see Rudy leave. So we want to see Tomori. It's like I honestly can't remember last. It must have been the Liverpool game where Tomori actually got to play. But yeah, we got to see. Hopefully, just lean on the whole Rudiger side thing. Yeah, he needs to go so that Tomori can get some more time. And yeah,
I think Dami was ready to say goodbye to this podcast.
I was like, yo, it's your boy, the Granddam. I'm going to dip, you know what I'm saying? Go use the bathroom and that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, not to get too far ahead of ourselves, the next challenge for Chelsea is, of course, Leeds United at home. Tough team. I think, none of us expected the way they started off, and they've been playing well overall, and then they've had a good run. Let's make sure Chelsea stop it. Let's make sure we have a performance like we had in the midweek. Especially from players who didn't play. Timo Werner, I think, didn't get enough minutes, and others as well. But yeah, Dami, if we win against Leeds, we could close the gap, but that only depends on other results as well. And how important is it for us to keep and continue this win streak or the streak in the Premier League?
A 15-match win streak at Chelsea Football Club. Do you know what I'm saying? What the thing is, yeah. This Leeds game, to me, obviously, I want us to keep on winning. I want us to gain more points. I want us to keep on improving. I want us to keep getting better. But apart from that, I think one thing that a lot of people don't realize is that this Leeds game, Leeds is one of Chelsea's old, proper like rivalries. Do you know what I'm saying? All of us here, I'm assuming we're all quite below the age of 25. So am I wrong? Am I right? Am I wrong? Right? Wrong? Right?
Yeah, you're wrong.
Right.
You're wrong.
Okay, just clarifying. But yeah.
Oh, you're wrong.
You're wrong.
I think you're wrong. Amart's.
I'm 29.
Amart's been supporting Chelsea since 2004, was it, Amart, you said?
In 2003.
All right, that's sound. But like my point is, like, I don't think any of us are old enough to have witnessed like the proper rivalry Chelsea versus
for sure.
Leeds when they were actually in the thing. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
Like I said, I've been a Chelsea fan for 20 years. Do you know what I'm saying? I came out my mom's womb a Chelsea fan. Honest to God, I'm not even joking. A lot of people think I take the piss, but the thing with that whole thing is my godfather actually brought Chelsea jersey on the day when I was born, fam. I literally fit in the thing like a glove, like a big glove. That's how it felt.
We need a baby Dam, the baby Dami picture.
Nah, that's not happening. Nah, that is not happening. You would never, fam. The tier would absolutely destroy, fam. YouTube and Twitter, everybody would kill me for that. But nah, man. Like at the end of the day, like I keep saying,
how many likes on the podcast? How many likes on the podcast?
On the pod? All right, let's do 10,000 and I'll drop it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
10,000 likes, I'll drop it. Say no more. These might probably get someone to fucking stat pad the thing as well. Man. But nah, like at the end of the day, like I said, Leeds is a massive game. It's a massive game, and I want to see how Lampard lines up because I know Bielsa is like Marco Bielsa is a legend of the game. Do you know what I'm saying? He's a tactical mastermind. I want to see what he's going to do up against Bielsa. I know Leeds employ a very high line, so I'm trying to see how Lampard actually takes advantage of that. So as much as I'd like to see someone like a Giroud playing in that game, I'm expecting to see like a Timo Werner, Hakim Ziyech, Christian Pulisic front three, so that we can get people like Pulisic and Werner running in behind, Benjamin Chilwell getting in behind, Kai Havertz breaking the lines and occupying the half spaces. Those are the sort of things I'm trying to see against that Leeds team. Aside all the winning, I want to see this team play ball because this is the best case scenario based on how we've been playing recently. We played against Tottenham and these men parked like 5 Boeing planes right behind their box. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to, well, that's not what Leeds do. Leeds actually
He
come up.
skipped over the buses. He's gone straight to
not
the
even
planes
buses,
now.
fam. Like, they went straight to planes. You know what I'm saying? It was like airport, fam. Terminal 5. You know what I'm saying? You know when the easy jet things are all there lined up and you can't really take off. It's mad. But at the end of the day, yeah, I'm trying to see what Lampard does against that. I'm not expecting him to change up his tactics, but I want to see us play ball. I want us to go there and I want us to actually play ball. I want us to beat Leeds convincingly. And then I'm like, yes, we're back in business. You know what I'm saying? For the rivalry, for the points, for the progression, for the confidence. There are too many W's apart from just winning. Do you know what I'm saying? So now, man, that Leeds game is a massive one. It's a massive one. Tactically and from every other perspective as well.
I think Dam's covered all the areas for the Leeds game inside of those 2 minutes. And we can straight go into the lineups. Okay, this is a tough one. Goalkeeper, guys.
Oh, that's hard. That's hard.
Yeah. You can't leave out Mohammed's favourite player. That's
Kepa Caballero.
Oh, I was thinking more Kepa, you know. I'm trying to concede a few goals, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah, I got Leeds players in my fantasy team, so I need Kepa in.
Has to be Kepa. Now I'm playing before I get blocked. Now before I get blocked, I'm playing. It has to be Edouard Mendy, innit? I don't think that's the one position in this squad where it's like, I don't care whatever happens, he's definitely playing. So, oh, days.
I think I'm just trying to think about this. I think we might have just jinxed it. Hope not.
Jinxed?
Yeah.
Right.
Are you saying that? Yeah, you're saying that now that we've assumed it, now Kepa's actually going to start now.
I meant no clean sheet from Mendy.
Well, I need to take Mendy out of the fantasy team. Anytime he's been it, so I put him in for the Sheffield game after he had kept 6 clean sheets in a row, and then he conceded. I was like, well, time to back out of this, and then take him out. He keeps clean sheets. I put him back, and then that was he's only conceded 1 Premier League goal, hasn't it? But it's against Sheffield, I think. Can't remember.
Yeah, I think that's the only one.
I think it's 3 goals in 12 games.
Yeah, that's the only one.
90% save percentage. It's mad. His stats are out of this world, genuinely.
Yeah. It's crazy. Yeah, it actually is. His only Premier League goal that he's conceded is against Sheffield in one. He's played 5 or 6.
He's nuts, man. He's nuts. Genuinely not. Like I said, Kepa tax was quite high, man. It was like 75%. It was ridiculous. But we improved. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay, back 4. Dami, you want to go first?
Back 4, we've got to put our 2 flying bombastical English fullbacks, best fullbacks in the Premier League, Ben Chilwell, Reece James. You know what I'm saying? And that back line, it has to be, the one. Like I keep telling a lot of people, like, the thing is, I go on live streams, I say this in my videos on Twitter, I say this on YouTube videos, I say this on other people's streams, on my podcast, Thiago Silva is one of the best centre-backs our generation has ever seen. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, literally one of the best. When you're talking about the best centre-backs to set foot on the planet in the last 2 to 3 decades, he's one of those players you mentioned. Phenomenal signing. Do you know what I'm saying? I wish you could roll back my guy's age by like 10 years. You know what I'm saying? So you could come for us for like quite a long time. But nah, you got to put in Thiago Silva. He got that nice rest. He didn't play against these man day before yesterday when you're listening to this. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to seeing him and Zuma. But that's my back line. I mean, you guys have something different.
Okay, I'll let Alex and Amart say theirs, and then I'll go ahead.
Nah, I can't say anything different. It's just you don't change it. How long have we been crying out for the same? I think I say this every podcast now when we preview when we think about what defense we're going to line up. We've been crying out for the same, just to keep the same back line to some consistency for you could say years now, or a couple of
Yeah.
years at least. So
Yeah.
it's with different managers, it's always changing between Alonso or Emerson, or between the merry-go-round of centre backs that we had for the past 3-4 years, depending on who's in form. And it just feels so good to finally be able to just go set and forget, pretty much, with those four. And it'd be crazy to say anything. I mean, the only thing is Aspi or Reece, but with the way Reece is playing right now, you can't draw on form. He's got to start on pure form, I think. But it's not saying Aspi's bad. I thought Aspi played an okay, decent game against Sevilla, but it's just Reece James is. He's
Do you know what? Do you know what I think it is? Yeah, because the thing is, obviously because I've got like a full-time job and everything, but when I'm not doing any of that and then not any work as well, I do try and like break and look at stuff, and I follow quite a bit of. I listen to quite a few tactical stuff, like a few like Tifo and all those different lot. The reason why I think we've seen Aspilicueta sort of isolated is not because in an ideal world, if you think about it, Aspilicueta starts over Alonso and Emerson on the left wing. But what Lampard actually does want is that he wants two fullbacks that can progress very, very well, and especially on the left and right side. Do you know what I'm saying? So that he can switch over to the other side. That's why he's so skeptical to put Aspilicueta on the left side, because if you've got, for example, like Chilwell, let's assume he gets injured. God forbid he does, but he gets injured. That's why he's going to stick with an Emerson, because Emerson keeps those overlapping runs. Because the wingers that we do employ, they play as inverted wingers. You know what I'm saying? They like to hover in and around the box. That's what Lampard wants. And then you've got like your fullbacks overhanging on the other side. That's why when you remember that goal that Ziyech assisted for Benjamin Chilwell against Sheffield United, do you guys remember that?
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. He was taking such a high advanced position. I know it was a set piece, but was taking a high advanced position. That's not Aspilicueta doesn't do that for you. So I think that's more of the reason. I mean, apart from the fact that Beast James and Ching Ching for Chilwell have been playing out of this world, I just feel like that's one of the main. That's one of that's Alex. I got Alex Goldberg. I got to give credit for the Ching Ching, but Beast James is mine. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm that's trademark. You understand?
I love that Beast James.
Beast James. You know what I'm saying?
Great.
Nah, man, love the name for the squad, man. I'm gassed up with this team, but at the end of the day, like I said, I think that's what. Apart from the fact that they're playing out of this world, I think I back them being the best fullbacks the league has at the moment, because Trent and what's the other one called?
Robbo.
Man, they should come outside, fam. They should come the hell outside. We can't find them anywhere. Do you know what I'm saying? But like I said, apart from that, they just tactically they fit Lampard's game plan better.
Yeah. Has Amart said his preferred one?
No, I haven't.
Come on, give it. Spit it out. We want to hear your controversial back four where we see Jake Clark-Salter come out on the back. Nah, go on. What TikToks can we make out of you today?
Like, to be honest, I don't think we'll have different lineups today, because I think this Saturday, is it a Saturday or a Sunday? This weekend we might see the dream team everybody wants. Yeah, we might see the dream team everybody wants to see on the pitch. We might see Pulisic, Ziyech, Werner, Havertz, Kante, Mount, all of them playing, starting for us. So I'm pretty sure that is what is going to happen. And so I don't think we will have a different lineup amongst us. But with the defense definitely going for the winning team, the clean sheet team, going for Silva, Chilwell, Zuma, definitely Zoom, and then Reece James on the right, because those players are the way to go, man. They're the way to go. Nothing.
Yeah, I think
no
I'm gonna have to go with the same. Sorry, Alex, go ahead.
Sorry. Looking forward to when we get into the midfield and attack lineups, because how we go with the ideal lineup, like you said, but also fit in the man who's just scored 4 goals in the Champions League for us. How you fit everyone in, someone's got to go, something's got to give. So it's gonna be fun to get into that in a minute or so.
Yeah, but for the defense, I'm gonna go with the same one as your guys. I think there's no debate on that. And I think Amart, you've hit it bang on. Where we're probably gonna have our dream lineup against Leeds. Havertz is ready as well, Pulisic, and then a lot of competition between Giroud, Tammy Abraham, and then Timo Werner to start. So yeah, I mean, let's get into the midfield then. Amart, you want to start with that one?
I mentioned it, but
Have
I'll
you?
repeat it again. Kante. No, I think I did. When I was talking about the backline, I think I mentioned it, but I'll mention it again. Kante definitely as the lone DM, and then
Sorry about that. I might have missed it because I was thinking about my points to make. Sorry to interrupt as
no
well,
problem,
but I think I missed it.
no problem. But Kante definitely as the lone DM, you could see the change that he brought into the game when he came on against Sevilla. So definitely Kante, and then Mount and Havertz as the attacking midfielders right in front of him, the number eights, and they will do well. They definitely do well. They perform well for us. So, but I'm a bit worried because Havertz wasn't really at his best against Sevilla. I'm just hoping he's recovering quickly so that he will return to his full best, like the Havertz that we know. He put in glances here and there, but definitely you could see that he wasn't to his best. So definitely we'll want to see him perform well against Leeds. So Havertz and Mount for me.
That's an interesting point that you make on the Havertz thing. I thought he was still played pretty well. He still made those gliding runs that we've gotten used to over the past, or when he first started playing. And did he? I think he got. Did he get an assist? Actually,
Yeah, he did.
yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He did. So I was still happy with what he did, but I do understand what you're saying. But
No, I mean I was just saying that he had an assist for the first goal.
yeah, so yeah, I do agree that there is more to come from him, and he's only going to get better and better in the next couple of weeks. But yeah, really hoping he gets the start. So
100% he starts against Leeds.
Yeah,
100%.
yeah,
Kovacic
absolutely.
is not starting against Leeds. That's not going to happen. If he does,
Yeah.
then I will be shocked. That's all I've got to say.
Yeah, so I'll go with Havertz, and the other two's got to be Kante and Mount. We got to go for our offensive midfield three. We're gonna have most of the ball. We need someone who can. We need as much goal threat as we can fit into that midfield. So, yeah, go for it. Mount, Havertz, and Kante. And then what about you, Dami?
Yeah.
Drinkwater, Rudiger, and Alonso.
That's what we want to see. Alonso Cam,
You know what I'm saying?
remontada.
Top tier shithousery, 40-yard stunners. You know what I mean? Literally 13 goals from the man.
Yeah.
Madness. But now, on a more serious note, bro, I feel like I've set myself up some clipping, man. Honest to God. Like, I'm not even going to. I hope I recover from this nicely. But nah, at the end of the day, I mean, Kante, he's been playing quite well at that DM position. Like I keep saying to a lot of people, what happens when he gets pressed heavily? Like what happened against Sheffield United in that first 10 minutes? He looked absolutely atrocious. Do you know what I mean? But he did recover. So, I mean, I'm still waiting to see that his big test. I mean, I'd back him because everyone loves Kante and I like him as well. But he does drop a few bad performances here and there. Do you know what I'm saying? A lot of people might not like what I've said there, but I mean, we just got to keep it real. I mean, look at his statistics against other teams, but I'm not here to bring negativity. So, like I said, he's the best person for that position right now at the squad. So, definitely got to be starting there. You've got Money Mace, literally the man I built my entire Twitter career off, Mason Mount, starting in his preferred position, not on the blood clot wings. Do you know what I'm saying? So, obviously, that's all well said and good. And then the effective nonchalance of Kai Havertz on the right-hand side. Like I've said to everybody, Kai Havertz is my favorite signing from this window. I knew he was not going to be the most effective because of the transition from the Bundesliga to the Premier League. Because I used to watch Havertz even before we got linked to him. He's such a magnificent player. Do you know what I mean? What he did for Giroud yesterday is the sort of thing that he does. He used to do on a regular basis for Leverkusen, and then he can also get on the end of balls as well. So it's only a matter of time before we get to see the real proper Kai Havertz. You know what I mean? So that's definitely my midfield three for the game against Leeds United because that allows us to I wouldn't necessarily say control because we don't really need to control too much against Leeds. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, that midfield will definitely get a job done. And this guy is going to feast. Havertz, watch the space.
Okay, yeah, that's a great analysis, to be honest. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with the same one. I think Havertz, Mount, Kante, that's it. That's the midfield.
Sweet. So, shall we get on to the attack of Mohammad? Where is the transition we wanted? No.
I was waiting for someone to laugh at my joke because a lot of people on Twitter, what they've been started doing is they mention a player's name and then they just say, "That's it. That's the tweet."
Oh, that thing. Oh, right.
Oh man,
I
Mohammad
think
Soleja.
I think I did something similar this morning. I can't lie.
I can't.
Oh my
I don't
days.
think it works for a podcast. I've just realized it doesn't work too well for podcasts.
Don't
You'd
worry, you
say
can
mic
bounce back.
drop.
You can bounce back.
Yes.
Okay, the forwards. Thankfully, I'm not going first. Alex.
Oh man, why'd you have to do that to me? Oh, right, okay. So let's get the elephant in the room out of the way. Giroud obviously has to start, and if he doesn't start, that's pretty scandalous. You can imagine being not third choice, but everyone knows third choice striker scoring 4 goals in the Champions League. It's kind of like an unwritten rule, but unless he's injured, you start in the next game. So yeah, Giroud obviously has to start. And then for the other 2 spots, Ziyech right wing, of course. And then it's a toss up between Pulisic and Werner. I would go Pulisic, but I can't really justify it if I'm honest. Werner, I mean, past couple, I'm glad that he got the rest. So if he does start, it'll be pretty fresh against Leeds. But Pulisic showed you a couple of days ago, or no, it was yesterday, that he's capable of, or he's at the level that we need from him. He just needs to work a bit on he's still becoming or getting the match sharpness back, so his decision maker will improve. So he needs these games. So I would be happy with either of Werner or Pulisic starting. So, but I'm gonna go Pulisic.
I'm gonna step in and I'm gonna step in and say my predictions as well because I think I'm gonna go with the same ones as Alex. I think you can't drop a striker who's just come off scoring 4 goals in an away game against Sevilla, and then I think Ziyech has been so influential and so important for us in getting crosses in, and he's that ball that he just takes from the left all the way to the right to Bound Chilwell. It makes my day. And then I think on the left you can Werner and Pulisic can fight it out, but I think Werner still needs some time. I think Pulisic can start ahead of him, so I think Pulisic, Giroud, and then Ziyech. Maybe we see Werner come on in the 60th minute, have 30 or so minutes to play. Amart, you go.
Yeah. I mean, I want to see the dream team really, really badly, man. I want to see I want to see the start team playing in the full game, like all of them starting. But definitely, I think you guys are right. You definitely can't bench someone who just scored 4 goals in the game. But we could be surprised. Probably Werner might start because the only reason why Werner was starting alongside Abraham was because Pulisic was injured, and Pulisic is back. So it's like now there's only one spot for the center forward role, and yeah, definitely Drew benefit the most from Ziyech crosses and Reece James crosses. But yeah. I think you guys are right. I'll go on your side. I really want Werner to start in the middle. I really want him to start in the middle, but I feel like Frank might reward Giroud for the 4 goals that he has scored by starting him in this game. So Giroud definitely in the middle, Werner on the left, Ziyech on the right for me.
Wow, Pulisic's not part of your dream team.
No, I think Werner was rested,
Yeah.
right? Werner didn't play. He came on later on to play, and Pulisic played almost the full game. So I think Pulisic will start from the bench, and Werner will start.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
I mean, the dream team will be without Giroud. The dream team for me will be without Giroud. Werner in the middle, Pulisic on the left, Ziyech on the right. But like you guys said earlier on, definitely he has to be. Lampard will reward him for scoring those four goals against Sevilla, so he's going to start. Definitely going to start.
He's got to start. There's no other option. Dami, you've got anything else, or you've got the same?
Yeah, man. I disagree with you guys. I disagree with the three of you. Not because not because you're wrong. Do you know what I'm saying? Definitely not because you're wrong. You guys are spot on. And when you look at it from that perspective, definitely Giroud should be starting. From a tactical standpoint, if we're going to be playing against the lead side that are going to have a high line, like I said earlier on, we need Werner to start pad against Leeds. Do you know what I'm saying? This is literally what this game has the potential to show the Premier League and Chelsea fans that are still doubting. And I'm not talking about you guys, but so I know some people on the tail don't really like Werner like that. Do you know what I'm saying? Which is kind of respectable because he hasn't really shown us what he's about. Obviously, he's scoring goals like any striker should, but this is the game that can show us what Timo Werner is properly about. And I don't think that Lampard is actually going to start Giroud in a game of this caliber. Do you know what I'm saying? I do think that, yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it all boils down, yeah. Do you know what? Do you know what? It boils down to whether Lampard wants to play Christian Pulisic or not, because I definitely see Werner playing. Giroud has a massive argument for playing in this game. Do you know what I'm saying? Him not playing in this game is going to be damn right disrespectful. Do you understand? Because, like I said, whatever the man wants, you give it to him right now. But at the end of the day, I can't see Werner not starting. Do you know what I mean? Just because of the type of game it is. Like I said, if you watch any bit of Leeds, you'll see that they maintain a very, very high line. And that's basically a Hakim Ziyech ping over to Werner or Ben Chilwell, and it's a wrap. Do you know what I'm saying? Literally, you could start pad 17, 18 goals against these men. Do you know what I mean? So at the end of the day, I'm expecting to see that. And obviously, he's employed this two-striker thing with Werner playing on the wings quite a few times. But let's see, man. Once again, Lampard is proving that he can be very difficult and he's very unpredictable. So I'm not too sure. But personally, if everything was left down to me, right? And all sort of stuff was like, what's it called? All, with not favor, but all bias and like no like love or anything is involved. I'm going with Christian Pulisic, Werner, and Ziyech. Not because I don't feel Giroud is on the form of his life right now after scoring 4 brilliant goals against the top Sevilla side, but because I feel like Christian Pulisic and Timo Werner can feast heavily against this Leeds team. That's what I think.
Yeah, I think okay. So I think you're not wrong, and your point also, like you said, like with our lineups, it makes sense. And then looking at your perspective, you could say the same. Like, yes, what you said is correct, but I still think Giroud how would he feel? And this is coming from having not started 5 or 6 games in a row. When you get a chance, and you always hear in football, when you get a chance, take it as if it's your last chance. And for someone like Giroud to come on and score 4 goals and have 5 goals in 3 matches, to just be sat on the bench again and to not have a clear idea, and then doesn't that just provoke him to say, I'm leaving in January and thank you, goodbye, Chelsea?
I mean, you're right, but like I said, that's why I brought up the option of Werner, Giroud, and Ziyech. You know what I'm saying? Because literally, if I'm a striker and I score 4 goals in one game and then I'm bench the next one, then I don't know what else you can do. Do you know what I'm saying? So once again, in fact, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to cheap out. I apologize. I'm going to cheap out here. I don't get paid to do this shit. You know what I'm saying? That's Lampard's business, none of mine. So he can sort that out himself. That's his predicament. That's his fault. All I see, I'm a fan, regular fan like you guys. You know what I'm saying? Passionate, love the sport, proper Chelsea and that. But as far as I'm concerned, I'm going to leave it in Frank Lampard's hands. But like I said, in an ideal world, I'd like to see Giroud implemented in some way. And I feel the best way to get that done is Werner on the left wing and Giroud playing. But one thing I do 100% want to see in that game is Timo Werner playing. Do you know what I'm saying? So how Lampard manages to fit them all in is none of my concern. He gets paid millions to do that. So that's not my job. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Pay Dami $1 million and he'll give you his front three.
Yeah, I think he has given us a perfect excuse. Next time, if we are backed into a corner of making a lineup, that's the same answer I'll use. The job is in Lampard's hands. He needs to make the decision, not me.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Simple as fun.
I also agree with how Dami said how we need to make sure Werner plays this game as well. And to be honest, Frank could go up to Pulisic and say, "Look, you've had a great game week in against Sevilla. You've played up to 70 minutes. I think was it 70 minutes, 65 minutes so far. And let's give you a bit of a rest because it's only been 2.5 days, if that. And let's not." We saw what happened last time when we played 2-3 matches in a row. So let's take it easy. Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. I wouldn't want that to happen, according to my lineup predictions. But if it does happen, and then we all support Chelsea, no issues in there. I think that covers everything for the Leeds game. Anything you guys want to add on?
Nah, just the agreement that it is a good idea that Werner starts, considering I do like the idea of him, especially getting that game's rest and now coming up against a team with a high line. It does make a very good case tactically to start him. And yeah, I think it's just it is frustrating seeing people on the TL doubt him when his positioning is still that he's got great, even when he's missing some chances that he should put away. Like in the last minute of the rain game, you could argue that before Giroud scored the header, Werner was pretty much put through and missed, and his finishing's been a bit annoying, I would say, past game or two, but his positioning's still there, and with the game with a bit of rest, he didn't play against Sevilla at all, so I'm expecting him to be fresh and would be happy to see either of him or Pulisic. So even Werner, Giroud, Ziyech is pretty exciting, I think, for most fans, as well as tactically.
Yeah.
Next play.
I mean, the Twitter line, the timeline. Not everybody, but most Chelsea fans on the Twitter timeline, those fans that criticize him are a bit reactionary. We have a lot of reactionary fans on the Twitter timeline. I've recently, just after the draw against Spurs, people were calling for Lampard out. People were calling for him to be fired and stuff. We played a draw against Spurs, and people are angry. People are doubting Abraham already after praising him throughout the season till now. And then immediately when somebody has a bad performance, you see people either coming off for the player or coming off for Lampard, and players have favorites in the team. So fans have favorites in the team. So if a player isn't playing, all they see, all they watch the games for is for that player who is playing in place of their player, and they just want that player to make a mistake. So any mistake the player does, they'll criticize, and I don't think that's the best way to go. I mean, we are all Chelsea fans. We support. This is the reason why I think I've said this before, but in all the years I've supported Chelsea, I've never had a player on my jersey. The jerseys that I've purchased, all of them, I've never had one player on my jersey because I don't want to be too attached to a player to a point where if the player isn't getting what they want, and I'm angry. I'm not saying that it's wrong to get a player's name on the jersey, but this is how I felt from then. I've never had any player on my jersey, so I make sure all the jerseys I have are blank. I support Chelsea, and that's it. So whoever plays and whoever wears that badge,
yeah, I think that was a point that I was going to make next, and I was going to mention how on Twitter there's a lot of Chelsea fans who would be reactionary if one player starts above another, whereas they don't understand how Frank Lampard, as Dami mentioned, he's getting paid millions to sit there and decide who plays, and I'm sure he knows how important that is. It might be easy for Roman Abramovich to say, "Oh, this is £1 million," because for him that's like pocket change, but for Lampard, he must understand, and it's his boyhood club, and you don't want to see a club that you love so much and you've played and you've sweat for the team, and to just sit there and make rash decisions. And as fans, we need to all get back behind every single player that plays, and even if it's Kepa, Rudiger, Christensen, anyone, we still need to support everyone from the team.
You might not spot on, yeah. Like, at the end of the day, let me keep it real, because this is I like the fact you might bring up this topic, because the thing is, obviously, the whole with me, I take the piss out of people, I take the mick, blah blah blah, and people always call me a hypocrite when I defend one player or I do that and I do that. At the end of the day, when these man put on the shirt, I did a video on Ben Chilwell that got about 40,000 views. A lot of people tried to cancel me for it, but they didn't listen to the end. I keep saying all these people that do play for our squad, yeah, as much as we take the mick out of them, same people like, okay, I was going to make a bad joke, but at the end of the day, when you have take the piss out of them and get all of that involved, yeah, you've just got to think about it. When these men put on the jersey, they're playing for your football club. Do you know what I'm saying? And like I keep telling people, I would rather be wrong with every single one of my tweets and have Chelsea. Okay, that's a lie. But at the end of the day, I'd want to see Chelsea succeed over my opinions. You know what I mean? Me copying a few thousand likes because I was bang on a few months ago or something, I was ahead of the curve, means absolutely nothing to me if my squad is losing. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to start pad like Arsenal fan TV. None of that. I'm not trying to do a troops or Bobby thing. Do you know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, man, we've just got to back all these players. I mean, if someone is not playing too well, you give them their constructive criticism. You can go ahead and play around a bit. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying you should go ahead. The one thing you don't do is wish injury on people. You don't wish death on people. You don't abuse them negatively. If you're going to maybe play around, maybe, for example, I call Kepa a paella muncher from time to time. Just to play on the fact that he's Spanish and they eat paellas. You know what I'm saying? That's a bit lighthearted. That's a bit. But whenever he's on the pitch, I might get extremely frustrated and like say some rush things, but you got to back them because they are Chelsea players at the end of the day. They are being obviously they're all being paid to play for your club, but if you don't back them, who will?
Yeah, I mean, you can't expect Tottenham.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't expect a Tottenham fan to get up and support Kepa if he concedes goals, and neither would you. Like, you wouldn't say we would. You know, it's wrong to say Kepa hasn't been playing well. Let me just wish him an injury, or let me just wish that something bad happens to him. I don't even want to go there. And you hit it straight at the point, Dami, that it's important when we don't have players performing well, their confidence is down, that we support them, and the best way to do that is through social media. We stay positive things. I'm sure they, like many of us, after they're done with training, go home, sit on their couches, go through social media, and they don't want to go into their notifications or their feed and to just find hate and abuse and
they
all
see
of those
that stuff,
comments.
You know what I'm saying? They see all those things. A lot of people don't clock it. Like, that's one thing, I've noticed, I'm sorry, I keep waffling off like segment. It's not even just straight football, but at the end of the day, one thing that a lot of people on Twitter.com don't clock is that a lot of people see stuff. Whenever I put out videos, I usually get I'm lucky to get a lot of traction on them. I get a lot of quotes, I get a lot of comments. Some people come out there quoting and saying all sorts of rash negative things, okay? Feeling like I'm not going to see them. Then when I come back and clap back at them, they feel offended or whatever. And I mean, I'm not going to come out here and act like an ITK or say, oh, I'm pals with one of the players. But I do know somebody here and there that knows certain people. They see all these things. Do you know what I'm saying? They definitely see them. So that's why I keep saying, you don't come out here saying, oh, F you, or I hope your mom passes away, or that's unnecessary. Do you know what I'm saying? It's definitely unnecessary. So them already losing the game, the blasting they're going to get from the manager for if they messed up, you don't need to add more to their play. Do you know what I'm saying? They are human beings as well. I experience like all sorts of social media trash on a day-to-day basis. And it's not, I mean, I have very thick skin, you know what I'm saying? You can't really roast me. I know all my flaws and that. But at the end of the day, you just got to you've got to put your foot off the pedal a bit. You know what I mean? You can't banter around, take the piss here and there, but you just have to still keep respectful overall. Like, you just need to look at it and be like, if they said that about me, would I like that? Do you know what I mean? That's how you need to tweet from moving forward, generally speaking. That's what I say to
I fully agree.
Yeah, and I want to add that, okay, what I wanted to say is that, like, this is the reason why I'm happy that fans are allowed in the stadium again, because I feel like that was the connection, or that was the feedback the players needed. Like, if the players performed on the pitch, whether they were wrong or not, they had that kind of supportive feedback straight from the stadium. And because the fans are not there, they need to go back and go and check social media and see what the fans are saying. Because usually there was a divide between the fans that go to the stadium and then the fans on social media. Because you can see the fans at the stadium are so supportive, whether the teams are losing, winning, they are very, very supportive. So it gives the players extra motivation to do what they do best. But this is the case where the fans aren't allowed in the stadium. All they have now is all like where they can get their feedback now is on social media, and social media isn't being fair to them. Social media isn't being nice to them. So what can they do? So it's good that the fans are even coming back. I think it's in a limited capacity, 4,000 people or something like that. But still, they will get that support that they need.
Yeah, I think I was gonna also, this also brings up a good conversation about um people who talk about football on Twitter, on social media, make videos pre-match, post-match, and Dami is one of the perfect examples for that. And I think we've done this with quite a lot of guests that have been on. I think we did it with Jam the first time he was on. Kamal was one of them, Lump of CFC. And um, Dami, a lot of people really struggle on social media to say stuff. And then, Twitter's very commonly known for this. You can hide behind a player's you can use a player's
Yeah.
face and just pretend like you're anybody, and you can say anything, and not realizing that how much effect it could have on people. So what advice would you give people who are just starting out, people who want to put their voice out on social media, who want to show their passion for the club but are scared to do so because of these hate comments and these people who do these disgusting acts on online?
Oh, what can I actually see? The thing is, yeah, I've got to keep it real. At the end of the day, you've got to back yourself. You know what I'm saying? That's why I tell a lot of people you need to be able to look at something. Self-confidence and being able to back yourself is the most important thing you can do on social media. Do you know what I'm saying? I've got all sorts of people coming at me. Oh my God, don't you have a job or anything? I'm like, yeah, I do. Like, oh, don't you have a life? You're a child. I'm like, yeah, I'm probably earning more bags than you are. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, so what's your like? What you like? What's the issue? Do you know what I'm saying? Some people see that I post a video, I get like 200 followers from just posting a video. It took me yesterday I posted a video, it took me a minute and a half to record. Some people spend way more time composing tweets that don't even go anywhere. Do you know what I'm saying? It's mad. So, well, like I keep telling people, just keep doing you. Do you know what I'm saying? Look at what you guys do with your podcast. Keep doing yourselves. You need to have the confidence. Like, for example, like look at that situation we had with the Giroud and Giroud thing. I'm sure you guys were expecting me to say that, but you need to back yourself. You need to have confidence in what you're saying. You don't come on here and start spouting. Also, if you know what you're saying is correct, or you have a strong inclination to back in what you've got to say, then you go ahead and do that. And you need to be confident in yourself. A lot of people try to roast me for like being black or like racism. I mean, that's so like low level and difficult. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying that racism is something you should get used to, but I mean, man has been in London, now up north. Do you know what I'm saying? They can be quite racist up here. So you just need to be comfortable in your own skin. Do you know what I'm saying? People tried to call me fat before I went out. I went to the gym, lost about 25 kilos this year, all gymmed up, my body fat all good. You know what I'm saying? People said I should go feed my kids. I said, nah, I don't need to feed no kids. I'm 20 years old. They said, go get a job. I went ahead, I got one and secured the bag. You know what I'm saying? People will always find a reason to cancel. So you just need to be comfortable in your own skin. That's literally all I've got to say, because that's how I run my thing. I mean, I can go into the the minor details like muting people and like I rarely block. If I block you, then that means you've done something bombastic. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you just need to like be comfortable in your own skin. That's the main thing, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. You know, a lot of people, and we've seen cases, and I would say, okay, so I'm gonna dive into a little bit of a personal experience. I don't know if you guys want to hear this or not.
Go on, my friend.
Fun.
But yeah, I think um, I used to make YouTube videos, and this is way back in 2015, 2014, when you would it was quite a toxic place, and I was fat. I was just starting out, and I had no idea of how to edit videos, what quality, all that stuff, and it would just be random stuff, random gaming videos on YouTube, and I would get so much hate for it. And it would be from people you would know, and that's what affects you the most, I think. It's when people you know and you think, oh, this they won't say anything, they would probably support me, and it just backfires. Um, and from personal experience, I can say, look, if you're going to target a player, you need to think about whether you would say that to your parents, firstly, because they're probably older than you. Secondly, would you say that to someone you're close with, or someone you would support? Let's say someone who plays on your school's football team and you're supporting them. Would you say that to them? Friends, you might say them as a joke, but you shouldn't anyways do that. Um, it it makes no sense when I look at, and it doesn't happen to me a lot because I haven't got a big following, and kind of I'm on the ropes of I'm happy with the following I've got right now, because um, it means that not a lot of people are backfiring on me, and I don't have to think about what's gonna affect me and what people are gonna say. Um, And I think that's the same with players, and a lot of people don't realize is, players don't reply to you, but that doesn't mean they don't see it. The same way you get a notification from Twitter every time someone tags you, someone says something about you, they do that as well. They get it as well, and they probably see it as well. So we need to, as a Chelsea fan base, start this, and we need to all get together and then tackle this, and make sure social media is safe for everyone.
I mean, to be fair, like I'd like a world where that existed. You know what I'm saying? But reality is that would that ever happen? You know what I mean? So like, as
I
much
think it
as
starts with okay.
mm,
So I'm sorry for the interruption, but I think I've had this conversation, and then I was having it with Kamal as well, and we were saying, how hard would it be for Twitter to say you can't use pictures unless it's your own, and let's introduce a way where you're meant to have your ID on Twitter. You have to sign up. You need to give your ID.
that's
And yes,
something that mm, that's something
there's going to
I've
be a lot
talked
of
to
restrictions to
Olivia.
that,
Yeah, yeah. Go on, go on.
and yeah, and there's going to be a lot of restrictions to that because you can't just ask for someone's ID and get it and all that stuff. But we need to start making changes in social media and the way things operate, because it's wrong to just give hate to anyone, player, someone who's talking about a player, someone who's voicing their own opinion, because no one you wouldn't be happy if someone said it to you, so don't say it to anyone else. It's as simple as that.
Exactly, man. I mean, like I said, when it comes to this whole thing, because, like I said, I'm always in the limelight of this whole thing, just by nature of what I do. You know what I mean? A lot of people think it affects me. I mean, yeah, not I wouldn't say it does. Like, some days you could not be in a good mood and you cop some sort of unwarranted stuff, and they're like, oh, that's a bit of a downer, innit? But at the end of the day, you just got to be very comfortable in your own skin. You can't, like, as much as you want to add like verification, that'd be really good. Do you know what I'm saying? I think that's what the whole verified tick was meant to be for. So that way you only get to interact with verified people. I know some people alter for example, I alter my notifications. I have some certain words muted. I have specific types of accounts that I will never see their tweet. You know I'm coming from? But at the end of the day, I think it starts from the person itself. Like for me, I tried to do that myself. I made a whole video on certain players in the past, like messing about. You can't make jokes about people, but as long as just keep it respectful. Like I keep saying, it starts from us as individuals. Like we need to start the change that we want to see in ourselves. Do you know what I mean? And then when you've done that, you've made the place that much better. Do you think about it like that? Anything you do yourself, you've made the thing that much better
Yep.
just by going ahead to do it. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
I think
Anything you
Alex
guys want
Alex
to
has
add
been
on?
quiet for a while. Alex, do you
Man, how the tables have turned.
do you have
But yeah,
anything
I
to
do.
add?
I completely agree with everything you say on this. It's like it to me, Dami. You seem really. I envy. Or no, maybe envy is not the right word, but I'm impressed by how strong you have to be to get comments from anyone on like your skin color or your weight, all this stuff.
Mm.
It's like the downside of being able to put out a video and get so many likes. So it's just the other side of it, and it it it's one thing that really impresses me of these big accounts is being able to take all this stuff and still be themselves, still be true to themselves. So that's the most important thing. So yeah, it's, I guess the downside of football, of not necessarily just football Twitter, but social media in general. Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, I actually think it's getting a little better. I think I said it before, previously in an account. I think it's getting a little better. Some things that used to happen in the past are not there anymore. Like, for instance, like I mean, Africans couldn't talk about Chelsea games without getting any backlash. There was this thing that they used to say, African expert. They used to do it a lot. Anytime an African makes a comment about anything relating to English football, then you see people attacking you and stuff like that. I think that was the reason why I went off Twitter for some time, because I started. I've been on Twitter since 2009. I've been in and out of Twitter, but like those comments I was receiving for making certain comments about Chelsea and stuff like that, they weren't the best. And I think those things have died out, and I'm not seeing that anymore. Even though there's still a clash between the English fans and then the foreign fans, but it's getting better, and I hope it gets better in the
Mm.
future. That's
Yeah, 100%. I think it's a deep note to end to, but it's important we have these chats.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, 100%. We a lot of accounts fear this, and I think the more we talk about it, the more people are aware of this. Some people will end up changing, others won't. But those are the type of people you have to ignore, you have to block, you have to keep out of your circle. But yeah, I think that's all for tonight's podcast. Thank you, Dami, for coming on. Firstly,
It's my pleasure. Do you know what I'm saying? Good chat, Good chat. I'll be back. You might holler at your boy. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm a busy man, but just bust man the DM, man. I'll be back. No worries. No worries.
Yeah, really appreciate your time or taking time.
We'll contact Abramovich secretary.
Don't worry. He will be here,
I mean, as long as Abramovich secretary is there, we can contact him.
Yes. You can always contact him. He's never too far away. I have him on WhatsApp, so you can always reach him. Yes. Oh, accent is jokes.
Yeah.
you need to trademark that before someone else copies it.
I didn't want to say anything, but I'll leave it at
Amart
that.
speaks from.
I mean, I'm not Nigerian, so I don't really have any pull power in that sense.
All right, guys, that's all from tonight from us. So quite a lot of to take in from this podcast. This is probably going to be one of our longest podcasts in quite a while, but that's the amazing part of having guests on. Thank you again to Dami for coming on, and of course, guys, the guest list continues. We've got quite a lot of guests lined up. We're trying to get everyone in for next week and the week after, and then of course the big Arsenal game. A lot of things are being planned for that one, so watch out for that. Just a reminder for everyone, if you're listening to this on your audio platforms, add it to your playlist. Of course, it does help us, and every listener counts to make a change in this community, as well as to spread the word about Chelsea. As well as that, if you're listening to this on YouTube, then make sure to leave a like, rating, and subscribe. Comment below what you thought of this podcast, and make sure to like it. Of course, 10,000 likes, and we're gonna have baby Dami pictures.
Oh, for God's sake! If you might actually scrape 10,000 likes, oh wallahi, you might not on film. I'm not even joking. You might will get me at your doorsteps, fam. Mad. I look like Kanye West when I'm younger, fam. Honestly, I'm not even joking.
Alex Goldberg to promote the podcast.
I'll just block all of you, fam. Simple. I'm playing.
No, yeah, do it, guys. Come on, 10,000, not a big number. Let's make it happen. We all want to see Dami.
Scenes when this actually happens in like 3 or 5 years, and I actually have to pick up the thing, mend.
Non-expirable deal.
Oh, jeez.
And just to end it all, guys, if you want to interact with the hosts as well as the CFC Talk team, make sure to join our partnered server, Chelsea FC Discord. Links will be in the description below, and we usually tweet them out every so often on Twitter. As well as that, if you want to go and head out and check our website. We've got quite a lot of articles being written up. The team has been smashing it, to be honest. 2 to 3 articles on a daily basis, all the way from reviews, injury updates, press conference, as well as a few casual articles on players every now and then. Thank you for all the support as we come into Christmas and then hopefully New Year. Quite a tough season, quite a tough period for Chelsea as well as us. We'll try and get the quality to be as good as any other episodes, but there will be some changes here and there just to make sure we get everything on at the right time. Thank you again, Alex and Amart. We'll have a chat as usual next week, hopefully. That's it. Thank you, guys, and we'll see you next time.